Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another deep dive. And today we're going to be plugging into the UK's electric vehicle scene. Specifically, we're going to be taking a look at the Mini Cooper Electric. And, it's funny. If EV sales plummets, we are bombarded with news stories, articles, think pieces, analysis. But when they skyrocket, it's almost radio silence. It's like nobody wants to talk about it. But luckily, we have the Electric Viking. He's a YouTuber, and he is plugged into the UK EV market, so he's going to be giving us the inside scoop. So you ready to dive in?
Yeah, I think what's really interesting here is that in February 2025, electric car registrations in the UK surged by a massive 37.4% compared to last year. That's a 26% market share, which means more than 1 in 4 new cars sold in the UK were electric.
Wow, yeah, that is a huge surge.
Yeah.
But what's even more wild is that the Electric Viking pointed out that Mini Cooper Electrics are actually pricier in the UK than they are in Australia and China. So these sales figures are even more impressive considering that. Why do you think that is? Is there something unique about the UK market?
Yeah. That's a great question. I think the UK has really embraced the shift toward electric vehicles, and it's likely a combination of factors. One thing that the Electric Viking pointed to was the UK's zero emissions mandate as a major driving force. And what's interesting about this mandate is that it sets a 28% EV sales target for car makers this year.
So essentially, it's kind of pushing manufacturers to prioritize EVs.
Right.
But didn't a lot of them initially resist these
Well,
mandates?
they absolutely did. There was a lot of fear-mongering about how these mandates would cripple the industry. The Electric Viking even highlighted some of the dire predictions from back then. But what we've actually seen is the opposite. These mandates have been a catalyst for innovation. They've pushed manufacturers to invest in electric vehicle development and to make them more accessible to consumers.
So it sounds like the UK government played a key role in creating this EV boom and is actually having a positive impact. But what about the consumer side of things? Are people genuinely excited about EVs, or are they just buying them because of the mandate?
Well, I think the sales figures speak for themselves. Take Tesla, for example. The Model Y and the Model 3 were the second and third best-selling cars overall in the UK last month, not just in the EV category. So this tells us that EVs are no longer just a niche market, they're becoming mainstream. People aren't just buying them out of necessity, they're choosing them because they're appealing.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It sounds like we're reaching a tipping point where EVs are shifting from an alternative to the preferred choice for many. Where do you see this going in the future?
Well, the Electric Viking actually believes that the UK could hit a staggering 30% EV sales by the end of 2025, essentially doubling from last year. And get this, he even suggested that the UK could reach Norway-level EV adoption, which is around 60% in just 2 years.
Wow, that's incredible. So we've established that the UK's EV scene is on fire, and it's not just about sales figures, it's a cultural shift. Now let's focus on the Mini Cooper Electric itself. What stands out to you about this car, besides its obviously stylish design?
Well, one thing that immediately caught my eye was its impressive 5-star Euro NCAP safety rating. It's great to see that Mini hasn't compromised on safety in their pursuit of creating a fun and stylish electric car.
Yeah, that's definitely reassuring, especially for those who might be hesitant about making the switch to electric. What are some of the specific safety features that contribute to this high rating?
Well, the Mini Cooper Electric comes equipped with a suite of advanced safety features, including autonomous emergency braking lane keeping assist and blind spot monitoring. These are features that can truly make a difference in preventing accidents and keeping drivers and passengers safe.
So it's got the safety aspect covered. But let's be honest, it's also a Mini, so it's got to have some serious style points, right? The Electric Viking seemed pretty impressed with how they've blended the classic Mini look with modern EV elements. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. The Mini Cooper Electric does a fantastic job of paying homage to its heritage while embracing a modern aesthetic. It retains that iconic Mini silhouette, the small size, the bold headlights, the two-tone color schemes, but with subtle touches that highlight its electric nature, like the bright yellow accents.
And those design choices aren't just about looks, are they? The Electric Viking was raving about how the car's small size and unique wheel placement actually enhance its stability and handling.
You're right. Mini has always been known for its go-kart-like handling, and they've managed to maintain that sporty feel in the electric version.
Now, I'm curious about the interior. The Electric Viking seemed particularly impressed with the high-quality materials and attention to detail. He specifically mentioned the luxurious leather seats and a really clever seat adjustment mechanism. What were your impressions?
Well, the interior definitely has a premium feel. It's clear that Mini put a lot of thought into creating a space that's both stylish and functional. And that large tablet-like infotainment screen is a real standout feature. It's packed with features, including different driving modes that allow you to customize your driving experience.
Speaking of driving experience, the Electric Viking described the Mini Cooper Electric as both powerful and fun to drive, which sounds like a winning combination, but he did mention that the added weight of the battery impacts its handling compared to previous models. Did you notice that?
Yeah, that's a common trade-off with electric vehicles. Batteries add weight, which can affect agility, especially in a car known for its nimbleness like the Mini. But it's worth noting that the Mini Cooper Electric still retains some of that classic Mini character. It's responsive quick off the line, and it can still zip through corners with relative ease.
So it's not quite the same go-kart feel as the original, but it's still a fun and engaging drive. Now let's talk about a key factor for any EV, the battery and range. What can you tell us about the Mini Cooper Electric in that regard?
Well, the larger battery in the Cooper SE model offers a range of around 400 kilometers, which is a significant improvement over the base model's 300-kilometer range. During his test drive, the Electric Viking observed a real-world range of about 280 kilometers in the city and around 250 kilometers in mixed driving conditions.
That's pretty impressive, especially considering the real-world conditions. But I'm guessing factors like driving style, weather, and even using the AC can affect that range, right?
Absolutely. Those factors definitely come into play. It's like any car, if you're driving aggressively, you're going to use up more fuel or, in this case, battery power.
So you're saying I might want to ease up on the accelerator if I want to maximize my range.
Yeah.
Good to know. But even with those considerations, it seems like the Mini Cooper Electric is a viable option for more than just short city trips.
That's exactly the point. And it reflects a larger trend we're seeing across the EV market. Ranges are increasing, charging infrastructure is improving, and that range anxiety that people used to talk about is becoming less of a concern.
And going back to that tipping point idea we discussed earlier, I can see how those longer ranges contribute to more people adopting EVs. It's like a snowball effect, right?
Exactly. The more people adopt EVs, the more demand there is for charging stations, the more investment goes into battery technology, and the cycle continues. It's a positive feedback loop that's driving this electric revolution forward.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and go back to the Mini Cooper Electric's design. We touched on how it balances heritage and modern style, but I'm curious about the specifics. What are some of the design elements that make it instantly recognizable as a Mini, even in its electric form?
Well, for starters, it retains that classic two-door hatchback silhouette with its short overhangs, rounded roofline, and upright windshield. Those are unmistakable Mini design cues.
And those iconic round headlights. I noticed the Electric Viking pointing out how they've incorporated LED technology to give them a modern edge while still maintaining that classic Mini look.
Absolutely. It's a perfect example of how they've blended retro styling with modern technology. And if you look closely, you'll spot subtle design elements that hint at its electric nature, like those bright yellow accents on the grille and side mirrors.
Those little details make a big difference. The Electric Viking also talked about how the Mini Cooper Electric has a sporty stance, thanks to those wide wheel arches and the wheels being pushed right out to the corners. What's the thinking behind that design choice?
Well, it's not just about aesthetics. That design element contributes to both the car's visual appeal and its handling characteristics. It gives it a planted, athletic look, and it also helps maximize interior space.
Speaking of interior space, the Electric Viking seemed really impressed with the quality of the materials and the attention to detail inside the Mini Cooper Electric. He specifically mentioned the leather seats and the concealed seat adjustment controls. What were your impressions of the interior?
Well, Mini has always been known for their stylish and well-crafted interiors, and the Cooper Electric is no exception. They've created a cabin that feels both premium and playful, which is a difficult balance to achieve.
And that giant tablet-like infotainment screen. The Electric Viking seemed to love it. It's like having a massive iPad right there on your dashboard.
It's incredible how much technology has advanced in recent years. Infotainment systems are now incredibly sophisticated, offering everything from navigation and music streaming to smartphone integration and voice control.
And in the case of the Mini Cooper Electric, the infotainment system also gives you access to all sorts of EV-specific features like monitoring your energy consumption, finding charging stations, and even preconditioning the cabin temperature before you get in. Talk about convenience.
It's all about creating a seamless and intuitive user experience, and I think Mini has done a great job integrating all of those features into a single, easy-to-use interface.
But remember how the Electric Viking had that question about the practicality of some of the interior materials? He was wondering how well they'd hold up over time, especially with spills and everyday wear and tear.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. Sometimes designers prioritize style over practicality, which can lead to compromises in durability.
It's a tough balance to strike. You want a car that looks and feels great, but it also needs to be able to handle the realities of daily life.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot between style and substance.
Okay, let's get behind the wheel, so to speak. The Electric Viking described the Mini Cooper Electric as both powerful and fun to drive, which sounds like a winning combination. What makes electric cars so much fun to drive?
Well, one of the key advantages of electric motors is their instant torque. That means they can deliver power to the wheels, immediately resulting in very quick acceleration. And the Mini Cooper Electric definitely has that zip that makes it so exciting to drive.
But we talked earlier about how the battery weight impacts handling, and especially compared to those nimble petrol-powered minis. Did that detract from the experience at all?
It's a trade-off you have to consider with electric vehicles. The batteries are heavy, and that can affect agility, especially in a car that's known for its go-kart-like handling like the Mini. But keep in mind that the Mini Cooper Electric is still a very small and maneuverable car.
So it's still ideal for navigating city streets and tight spaces.
Absolutely. It's easy to park nimble in traffic, and it still retains some of that classic Mini character responsive steering and the ability to zip through corners with relative ease.
So it might not be exactly the same as the original Mini, but it sounds like it still delivers that fun and engaging driving experience that Mini is known for.
It does, and I think that's what makes the Mini Cooper Electric so appealing. It captures the essence of the Mini brand fun style and a bit of a cheeky personality while being environmentally responsible. It's a car that appeals to both the head and the heart.
That brings us back to the bigger picture. The Mini Cooper Electric is just one example of the incredible progress that's being made in the electric vehicle market. It's not just about the technology, it's about a shift in mindset. What are your thoughts on this EV revolution?
It's truly remarkable to witness this convergence of factors driving this transition. Government incentives, technological advancements, and most importantly, a growing awareness among consumers about the environmental and economic benefits of electric vehicles.
It's a perfect storm, and it's creating a wave of change that's sweeping across the automotive industry.
And that wave is only going to get bigger and stronger in the years to come.
So what does this mean for the future of transportation? It seems like we're at a pivotal moment, witnessing a fundamental shift in the way we think about personal mobility.
Well, the internal combustion engine has dominated the automotive landscape for over a century, but its reign is coming to an end. Electric vehicles are the future, and they're here to stay.
And it's not just cars either, right? We're seeing electric buses, trucks, motorcycles, even planes starting to take off.
The electrification of transportation is happening on a global scale, and it's accelerating faster than many people realize. It's an exciting time to be alive, and it's going to be fascinating to see how it all unfolds.
Absolutely. And what's really inspiring is that we all have a role to play in this transition.
Yeah.
Whether it's choosing an electric vehicle for our next car, advocating for policies that support sustainable transportation, or simply talking about the benefits of EVs, we can all contribute to a cleaner, greener future.
It's about making conscious choices, both individually and collectively, that will benefit not just us, but future generations.
Well said. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the UK's electric vehicle scene and the rise of the Mini Cooper Electric.
It's been a fascinating journey exploring the technological advancements, market trends, and the cultural shifts that are driving this electric revolution.
A huge thank you to the Electric Viking for sharing his on-the-ground perspectives. His passion for EVs is contagious, and his insights are invaluable for anyone interested in understanding this rapidly changing market.
He really brought the UK EV experience to life.
Now, before we wrap up, we want to leave you with a thought-provoking question. What are the potential implications of this rapid shift towards electric vehicles for the UK and beyond?
Will we see a complete transformation of our energy infrastructure? Will electric vehicles become even more affordable and accessible to everyone? And what about the impact on traditional automakers and their workforces? Yeah, those are huge questions.
These are all big questions to consider. The shift to EVs will have ripple effects across so many industries and aspects of our lives. It's massive.
It is. It's a massive transition, and it's happening a lot faster than I think most people realize. I think the Electric Viking said it best when he said we're not just witnessing the rise of the electric car, but a fundamental shift in our relationship with transportation.
And that's a really powerful thought to leave us with. The future of transportation is electric, and it's exciting to think about the possibilities.
Absolutely. You know, there are challenges, of course, but the momentum is undeniable. And as we've seen in the UK, with the right policies, innovation, and consumer demand, we can accelerate this transition and create a more sustainable future for everyone.
Well said. So as the UK charges ahead with its electric revolution, what does this mean for the rest of the world? Are we on the cusp of a global transportation transformation? That's something for you to ponder as we wrap up this deep dive. And hey, if you enjoyed this electrifying conversation, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the trends and technologies shaping our world. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, those are all really, really important questions that we need to be thinking about. The shift to EVs, it's going to have ripple effects across so many industries and aspects of our lives. This is a huge transition.
It is a huge transition, and it's happening a lot faster than I think most people realize.
Mhm.
I think the electric, in fact, you kind of said it best. We're not just witnessing the rise of the electric car, but a fundamental shift in our relationship with transportation.
Yeah, and that's a really powerful thought to leave us with. The future of transportation is electric, and it's really exciting to think about all the possibilities. Absolutely. There are going to be challenges, of course,
Yeah.
but this momentum, it's undeniable. And as we've seen in the UK, with the right policies, innovation, and consumer demand, we can accelerate this transition and create a more sustainable future for everyone.
Well said. So, as the UK charges ahead with its electric revolution, what does this mean for the rest of the world? Are we on the cusp of a global transportation transformation? That is something for you to ponder as we wrap up this deep dive. And hey, if you enjoyed this electrifying conversation, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the trends and technologies that are shaping our world. Thanks for listening.